Hey everyone, so today we're going to unpack an incredible ancient fable. It's a story all about desire, death, and a kind of transformation that seems to break all the rules. It's a real head scratcher, but trust me, it's worth it.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. The entire story hangs on this one single question that sounds totally impossible. How could an emotion like lustful desire, a desire so powerful it literally kills someone, be the very thing that gets her a ticket to a heavenly rebirth? It makes no sense, right? It feels like a paradox, but hang in there because the answer is absolutely fascinating.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in the ancient Indian city of Shravasti. You can just picture it, a really busy place full of life, culture, and spiritual seekers. And it's right here that two completely different people are about to cross paths in a way that will change everything. So meet our two main figures. On one side, you've got Aizuo. He's a bodhisattva, which means he's dedicated his life to achieving enlightenment to help every other living being. He's just calmly walking through the city doing his daily alms round. And on the other side, you have Datesing. She's the daughter of a really wealthy man, probably watching the world go by from a high window in her family's mansion. Two people from two totally different worlds, and they're about to collide. And this, right here, is where the story takes a super dramatic, almost unbelievable turn. What happens next is fast, it's shocking, and it really sets up the central mystery that we are trying to solve. So from way up high, Daezong sees Bodhisattva Aizlo down below. And in that single instant, she is just completely overwhelmed by this incredibly intense, fiery wave of lust. The text says the passion literally burns through her body. And right there, on the spot, she dies. What a powerful image, right? An emotion so strong it actually becomes fatal. Now, this is what's so interesting. Check out the contrast here. It turns out Daezing wasn't the only one who felt something. The bodhisattva Aizuo, he also felt a little flicker of desire. But his reaction couldn't have been more different. Instead of getting carried away by it, he immediately used it. He turned his attention inward and used that feeling as a tool, an object of medication, to see what it was really made of. And this just shows you how a real practitioner works. For Aizuo, that little spark of desire wasn't some kind of failure or a mistake. Nope, it was an opportunity. By looking straight at that feeling, he saw its true nature, that it was empty, that it had no real substance. And in that very moment of contemplation, he had a massive spiritual breakthrough, a huge leap forward on his path. So, okay, the bodhisattva gets enlightened. That's great for him. But what about Daezang? It sounds like a pretty tragic end for her, right? Well, this is where our story takes its wildest turn yet. Because for her, death wasn't the end. It was a really strange new beginning. Almost immediately after she dies, Daezang is reborn. And not just anywhere. We're talking one of the highest heavens you can imagine. And get this, she's no longer a woman. She's been transformed into a powerful, radiant male celestial being, a deva, complete with a gorgeous palace and thousands of attendants. Just wow. So this new Deva, remembering his past life, immediately goes to find the Buddha, and in front of everyone he makes this absolutely stunning confession. He says, "I was once a maiden in Shravasti named Daezang." Can you just imagine the shock going through that crowd? And then he delivers the most jaw-dropping line in the whole story. He explains that all his incredible good luck, the heavenly rebirth, the new form, all of it, was a direct result of that moment of lust. Because I gave rise to a lustful mind, he says, I received this reward. Okay, so how on earth is that possible? This is the moment when the Buddha steps in to finally clear up the mystery. He reveals that what happened wasn't just some random, bizarre miracle. It was actually the result of a very deep, very compassionate power that was being used by Bodhisattva Aizuo. Now, to really get this, we need to talk about a really cool concept called upaya, or skillful means. Basically, it's the toolbox a bodhisattva uses to help people. The methods might seem weird or totally unconventional, but they're always perfectly designed for the specific person they're trying to help. And they always come from a place of deep wisdom and compassion. And here it is. This is the secret key that unlocks the whole story. The Buddha explains that a long, long time ago, Bodhisattva Aizuo had made a very specific and very powerful vow.
He vowed that if any woman ever looked at him and was overcome with intense desire, that very feeling would trigger a miraculous transformation. She would immediately be freed from her female form and be reborn as a man. It was this hidden act of incredible compassion, a skillful means to turn a moment of suffering into a moment of pure liberation.
So, what's the big takeaway from this wild story? It's not just some strange fairy tale. It actually points to one of the most powerful ideas in spiritual practice, this idea of inner alchemy, of transforming lead into gold. This story is a perfect illustration of the principle that affliction is Bodhi. It's this profound idea that our tough emotions, our desires, our anger, all the stuff we usually try to push away, they aren't just junk. They're not just obstacles. When we can meet them with wisdom and compassion, they can become the actual raw material, the fuel for our own awakening. Aizo did it by turning his own desire into insight, and through his vow, he helped De Zhang turn her desire into a heavenly rebirth. And really, that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about for ourselves. This fable shows us how even an emotion that seemed completely destructive could become a doorway to something amazing. So it makes you wonder, right? What about in our own lives? What are the difficult things, the negative experiences we're facing right now that might just be holding a hidden opportunity for our own transformation?